So anyway, so we didn't have rolling papers, and we were going to roll a joint. And Donnie's more extreme than I am, and he goes, "I have it. Let's use the Bible." Okay. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a real good idea. And I'm not like, in any way religious, but it just kind of seems like, well, you don't do that. That just seems wrong somehow. Anyway, it didn't stop us. We did it. We smoked the joint. We had a couple of girls with us. And one thing that would always happen is that Donnie would do some kind of, borderline criminal activity, like riding a horse through a drive-through was one example.
Oh, wow.
And so on this occasion, he wanted to steal a paddle boat because the studio and the hotel that housed the studio were right off a lake, right? So, all right, so we got these two girls, and, Donnie has larceny in mind, and we've just smoked a joint made out of Bible. And so he somehow manages to break through this chain that these paddle boats have. And I'm like, well, figures. I don't know how he did that. I mean, is he Houdini or what? But he did, and the thing was free. So we pushed the two-seater paddle boat onto this little lake, and there's no running water, so it's all moss and seaweed, and it's got a dirty ground underneath it because it's not moving anywhere. Anyway, so the four of us get on the two-person paddle boat, and we get about halfway into the lake as we're heading for the island in the middle of the lake when we notice, hey, we're starting to sink.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said. And and I don't know who thought of it first, but it was like, guys, let's get the fuck out of this thing and just swim to shore, and that way, whatever, we're not, it just seems like now's the time to bail. So the four of us jump out of the thing, and I swim to shore, and as I'm getting closer to the shore, I'm like, man, it's getting harder, because that's where all the seaweed and the stuff was closer to the surface, right? The girl that I was with, I believe, was a swimmer, so she didn't actually have a problem. And the girl that Donnie was with made it as well. So now the three of us are on the shore, but there's no Donnie.
Oh, man.
Exactly what I said. I think there was a lot of fucks and stuff like that in there, and I'm like, all right, breathe, stay chill, because freaking out isn't going to. So I'm like, hey, Donnie, trying to not be like, ah! And run into the hotel room to see if he might be there. Of course he's not. I come running back out, and now the panic is set in. I'm like, Donnie, I'm yelling now, and it's fucking 2:00 in the morning, and we just stole a paddle boat and sunk it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, do not draw attention. Anyway, so I'm yelling now at this point, and I don't know what the fuck to make of anything. And I'm like, holy shit, what do we do? So we went back to the hotel room, and there he was. And what had happened was the seaweed and stuff had caught him and gotten tangled on his legs and hands and pulled him under.
Oh, shit.
Right? So he was literally almost drowning, and we're all like, holy fuck, dude, that really would have sucked for recording and stuff. But anyway, after he tells me the story of what happens, then he goes, and I am never going to roll a joint out of the Bible ever again. And I know for a fact to this day, it's never happened. He's never resorted to that again.